as a result of confusing the real world of nature with mere signs such as money, stocks and bonds, title deeds, and so forth, we are destroying nature. This is a disaster. Time to wake up. For what is reality? Obviously, no one can say. Reality isn't material, that's just an idea. Reality isn't spiritual, that's just an idea. Reality is...
Peace. You're tuned in to On Beat with Olo, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. We've got a real special show today, man. We've got GRDC in the house. I want to say peace to Mr. Forge.
Peace, brother.
Haven't seen you in a minute, man. I haven't seen anybody in this room in a minute, actually, man. It's been a while. I got my big brother El-Better to my right.
El-Better up in here.
We got Natural E to his left.
Thanks for having us, yo.
We got First Spawn.
Yo, what's up? It's First Spawn.
We got Mr. Forge.
Peace.
And we got Radio Raheem.
Peace. What's up, Olo?
Peace, all. Today we're talking about X and what it means to you. And it's funny because when I sent the text out to Better, he hit me back and he was like, yo, what are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? And I said, it's exactly what it is, man. What does X mean to you, Better?
It means 10.
10, right? Well, there you go, man. I mean, you know, it is of
X
Greek
marks
origin.
a spot. Oh, X marks a spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, you know, X means something different to everybody because a lot of people that I talk to, you know, when I sent the message out, they were like, yo, you talking about Malcolm X? And I said, if that's what it means to you, man, then that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, you know, when you sent it out, and that's the first thing that popped in my heart, you know what I'm saying, was Brother Malcolm. But I didn't want to assume. And then, you know, the text kind of sounded a little vague and elusive. But I know you put it out there so you get us to reach into, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have to
I thought the same
give you
thing.
a placated, you know, answer or whatever. You wanted something genuine.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, and see, and Malcolm, he used it right, too, because like you said, X marks a spot. It's the unknown, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he used it is because X, one of the ways that people use X is to represent the unknown, something that they don't know about. And in his case, in Malcolm X's case, he used it because he didn't know his real last name. He didn't know where he was from. He didn't know his real origins. And his real name was Malcolm Little, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Raheem, is that right?
Yes.
His birth
Right.
name.
Birth name.
His
exactly.
birth name.
This
Yeah,
is
I didn't want to say his
Christian
real
name.
name, but yeah, his birth name given to him was Malcolm Little. And then when he converted to Islam, he said, nah, he was like, I don't want to use the last name Little. I don't know what my real last name is, so he started using X, which represents the unknown.
His name in Islam is Malik El-Hajj Shabazz, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's his Muslim name. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But his name here in
Stage
America,
name.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
His platform name.
Yeah, was
Brother
Malcolm
X.
X. Yeah, man. So that's what's up, man. So let's talk, man. Who wants to spark it off?
Well, I was thinking the same thing. Actually, when I got the text, you know, I knew what you meant, and but then I was just joking around with them. I was like, well, it's the 24th letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, nah. And then, you know, because I'm around these children's programs with my son, so I started going through all these like children's songs in my head about the letter X. But no, I know what you meant. You know, First Spawn and I, you know, he's my oldest son, and we were talking about it, you know, on the way here. We were basically, I was telling him, you know, we were stripping away, you know, what textbook Malcolm X is, you know, just looking at him more as a human being, you know, in his evolution. You know, I was talking to First Spawn about his evolution, which is inspiring me, you know, because, you know, they're within all kinds of religions and ideas, and there's you know, there's always someone that stands out. So we try to take the fine attributes from these individuals, and Brother Malcolm, man, you know, what it means to me, like I was telling my son about this evolution, you know, how he was narrow-minded, which we all can be like, but then, like, you know, when he actually went on his pilgrimage and he was actually praying with white brothers, you know, and praying with Indonesian brothers, and he got more of an open idea to the universal idea of what God is, you know, and the relationship that we have amongst our other brothers and sisters that also love the same supreme being, you know what I'm saying? So he came back, and, you know, and how I can relate to that is, you know, coming from LA to DC, you know, in LA to me, we was very segregated and narrow-minded in our thinking. You know what I'm saying? Till I came to DC and I walk in this room and you got, white, black, Asian,
The melting pot, man.
Persian, and I was like, yo, what's wrong with these people? Like it just was weird to me, because in LA, Mexicans stuck to their side and, Samoans, stuck to their side, blacks stuck to the, so, it was very different for me. And I'm blessed for that, like Brother Malcolm, he got open to the universal idea. And then, of course, hip-hop came into play, and that just expanded it more. So that's what it means to me. I look at his fine attributes, him, and the first one I was talking about, just that whole age in history, to where the whole civil rights movement, what I'm saying, that was, he was a fine instrument during that time. So anyway, that's what it is to me.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. That's what's up, man. Radio Raheem.
Peace.
Peace. What's good, man?
Along those same lines, first I'd like to give a big shout out to Olo for this wonderful platform and program for us to come out here and hopefully serve some justice on these different topics. But X to me definitely triggers Malcolm in my mind, and on a personal note, I relate to him from when I read his book, saw the movie when I was a younger kid, and then I read the book and
the autobiography.
The autobiography, correct. And to me, I think a lot of people, they see some kind of correlation between maybe segments of his life, and they see a correlation between their life, some kind of awakening, transformation, development, so to speak. I was really influenced by the later half of Malcolm's life, where he
After Hajj,
correct, yeah, exactly. That last segment of his life where he was really aggressive about working for justice with anybody. He was ready to build with anybody who was not going to compromise principles of justice, and regardless if they were Muslim or non-Muslim, regardless if they're white or black, he was just ready to work and build with people. And at that time, depending on what your viewpoint is, but I personally think that's when he became a really lethal threat to the just racist system that is and was America. And that's when obviously he was marked as someone that needs to be taken care of, so to speak. But he really, that later part of chapter of his life is something that I still kind of refer to, and it's very inspiring, actually. So that's what I think of when I think of X, and when I think of specifically Malcolm X as well, is not compromising for justice on a social level, personal level, and for your rights as well, on a personal level, on a social level, from your domestically in your house to socially as well.
That's what's up, man. Natural E.
Peace, O.
What's good, man? X.
The letter X. That I've been thinking about it more and more, and with the videos that you recommended of Malcolm X. When I think about the letter X, I think about someone jumping into the air with their legs and their wings just outstretched, just completely free, just vulnerable to the elements, and just alive. And when I think about it more and more, after looking into what Malcolm X had to say after his pilgrimage, and just the different voices of the civil rights movement, the music of Odetta Holmes, the speeches by Martin Luther King, I came across this one speech by Kwame Nkrumah, who was leading the way to help make Ghana independent in Africa in the 1960s. And when he had this speech called "I Speak of Freedom," and it was about the importance of unity, not just in Africa, but he talked about just the disunity worldwide and just the strife that's in the world, and how them coming together just would serve as such a beautiful example to just the whole world that, unity is possible, and that amazing things can be accomplished when people come together. And so that's what comes to mind, is just like the individual freedom we all have, and how it's just created greater the more we unify to reach that.
That's what's up. First Spawn. Let me hear your response, man. X, what does it mean to you?
What X means, like at first, when I thought about X, it's a cross. it's like a cross between like different cultures, you could say. Like, since they're two intersecting lines, you know, at the time period of like civil rights, there was a cross between two different lines, and like that started a whole conflict, but also like it could help us.
That's what's up, man. It does help. You're right, man.
Yeah, and then like Malcolm X was like perfect. He was an important part to like the civil rights movement and like how we could all get along with each other.
I think everybody's focusing on Malcolm X because we got these flyers in front of us, you know what I'm saying, that say Malcolm X on them. Radio Raheem, man, let them know. I know that you got a few things coming up in D.C. Next week.
That's right. Did El Better, did you already speak on that?
Can you get up on the mic, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
El
yeah.
Better, did you?
Well, yeah. Oh, brother Malcolm, man. If I can go ahead and set the.
Don't worry
set
about
the
Better,
scene.
man. Better's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just here anyways, man, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to speak anyways, man.
I didn't know if he had already. I didn't know if you.
No, yeah, it's
started
cool.
off
Yeah,
or what.
it's all good,
I
man.
appreciate you, brother Rod.
It's like no one's.
I want to give my brother Malcolm story.
Yeah, and when Theory, when Better, when Usin and Natural Ear in the building, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because they're here almost every week, you know what I mean?
Word.
So you don't have to even worry about them, man.
Okay, word,
That's
word,
why I
word.
don't even really put the camera on them too much, you know what I mean? Nah, but that's
We're
what's
just
up, man.
flies on the wall.
No disrespect, you know, but you already know, man.
Just here.
Go ahead,
But yeah,
Better.
man, it was like what the late '80s, early '90s. I was living in Fauquier County, out in Warrenton, Virginia, and there's during the late '80s, man. So it was real rural Virginia. You know what I mean? It was just blacks. It was just whites there. Didn't really see. Might have been like maybe one Latino that went to school with us. Maybe like one Asian that I grew up with. You know, in that area. And I'm influenced heavily by like Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like artists like PE. I'm like what 7, 8, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? Listening to PE. The autobiography Malcolm X. I remember actually purchasing in South Carolina. My father's family's from South Carolina. So I was down there, and it was around the time when the movie X was out. You know, Spike Lee's joint was coming out or whatever. So people are really being, it's like this energy that was going around during that time, especially like in hip hop and just the urban community, was really about self-awareness because we didn't really have that from any other outlet. Like I literally learned about Malcolm X through hip hop. You know, I didn't learn about Malcolm X. I mean, you know, my grandparents, they would school me to it because they were real charged on that level. You know what I mean? My grandma always kept me aware of Marcus Garvey, Dick Gregory, you know what I'm saying? Like MLK, brothers like that because it meant something to us. We were learning something about ourselves that we weren't learning in the schools. You know what I mean? All we learned about ourselves in schools is that, we were descendants of slaves, but we never really found a true identity of ourselves. And Malcolm X is very important because he was hipping us to nationalism, something that is not really talked about in the society
at all
for us. You know what I'm saying? So like when that movie came out, I remember just being real charged. I wanted to get the book. I had the Malcolm X hat, the snapback, I
remember those, yo.
The African American College Alliance sweaters, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just on a different vibe right there, at that time. And, I owe all that to brothers like PE. I owe that to hip hop, you know what I mean? And hip hop owes it to Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? Because had it not been Brother Malcolm, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have the, I wouldn't be spitting like how I spit now. I'll probably be spitting just a bunch of 85 or stuff, but the music means so much more to me because of brothers like Malcolm, you know what I mean? So much respect, you know what I mean? Peace to the God, you know what I mean? Like, it's never been another. It hasn't been one like him before him, and there'll never be another after him, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? We can always evolve from it. But yeah, I think we needed that. So.
We think of a small number of prophets, but in reality, there's hundreds, thousands of prophets. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And they're just in different forms. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like, I'm not even going to get into, everyone spoke truly on Malcolm, and that's what's up. I don't have to say anything really, you know what I mean? Because I agree with everything everybody said. He was definitely inspirational. With me, I grew up in a Muslim family. I didn't speak English until I got into kindergarten for the second time because they kept me back in kindergarten the first time around because I couldn't speak English. There was no ESL back then, you know what I'm saying? This was in the 80s, the early 80s. So I didn't really, like with Malcolm, the whole thing was I didn't know who he was. I don't even know how I was introduced to him, but as a kid, I knew that I was different. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I spoke 3 languages, and I knew that when I came home, I ate different food. And I couldn't really relate with a lot of people. But the good thing about VA, Northern Virginia, again, like Mr. Ford was saying, is that it's a melting pot. So when I moved down here, I was able to meet other young Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them were like Ethiopian. Or just from North Africa. I don't want to say where they were from, but just from North Africa, and that opened my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think of Muslims as being different types of people. I would always associate Muslims with Middle Eastern people or with just Afghans. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a kid, I didn't know. I was ignorant to all that. But then when I was in school, I remember I was like in 5th grade, I believe, 4th or 5th grade. It was time to do a book report, and I chose to do Malcolm X, the autobiography of. And when I read it, man, it like opened my eyes. And this was before the movie. You know what I'm saying? All I knew of Spike Lee at that point was School Days. And I was like, it didn't even make sense to me back then. You know what I'm saying? So
Gamma Phi Gamma.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, so when I read the book, I'm not saying that I became somebody else, or whatever, but it opened my eyes to what Islam truly was, and like everyone else said, it was after Hajj that he truly became a pure person. You know what I'm saying? A pure Muslim, or just a pure person in general, because he got rid of all the anger and hatred that was in his heart, that was built up through the nation. No disrespect, but I mean, that's who bred him, as well as just the turmoil that was going on in the streets, man. Just this whole black-white war, you know what I mean? Which is completely, in my eyes, I'm looking from the outside in or whatever. It's all wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because black people, to me, are not African American. They're American, because their roots started right here in Americas. If not all over here in North America, definitely from South America came up. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story, man. But anyways,
said that division out there, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like African American versus American. Like,
yeah.
You don't say white Americans or whatever. It's always, like what's up with that division? You go anywhere else in the world, whether it's like Britain, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, you're Dominican, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Mexican, whether you're light or whether you're dark, you're Mexican.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, when you're in the Americas or whatever, then it's black and white.
I mean, it's a good way to erase one's history, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's all confused, man. And I think that's one of the problems right now, too, is that everybody's all confused. They're looking for answers in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? If people would start to
they're trying to find answers from the same people who told them all these lies.
And that's another thing too. Exactly, man. Stop looking in the same books, man. And see, that's the good thing about the people in this room is like GRDC, alternative. You know what I'm saying? Oppression.org, alternative. BOLO, alternative. TRN, alternative. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even follow the mainstream, and that's the whole thing is the 80. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to get too deep into those other subjects.
Go deep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to he was like, "Oh, you just got to open up and go in, man." You know what I'm saying? Like, just go
why not?
in.
That's what we here for, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, real talk, man. I mean, let's just be real, man. I mean, I've said this before on this show too, man. North Africans, dark skin, darker than better. You know what I'm saying? Came to the Americas, to trade. This was before the slave trade too. You know what I'm saying? They came out here to trade gold and silver.
Mansa Musa actually from Mali came, and Abu Bakr, who was his brother too. They came all the way up the Mississippi River Delta area. There's actually documented. This is a documented source, but they came from a kingdom in Mali, and Mansa Musa was a king of that empire, that Mali empire, and that was I think 1300s or something like that. It was well before anyone from England or any white European made their way by accident over to the India.
It was no
India,
accident, man. Yeah, there was definitely no accident, man. I mean, let's be real, man. 1492 is a joke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you really look into history, it was because it was because of the war with the Moors. When the Moors were defeated and they started pushing the Moors out of Europe and back down to Africa, and they started pushing them back, across the Mediterranean, because they never wanted the Moors to come up across the Mediterranean. You know what I'm saying? When they pushed them back, they surrendered maps of the Atlantic Ocean, because the Europeans had never, when they think of the Vikings, they're like, oh, these big Vikings, these big guys. They weren't these big, like, these guys like what people think of. It's just because they were brave enough to take this journey across the Atlantic, the ocean that was unknown, again, you know what I'm saying? It was the unknown. But the Africans already knew about it because it was an easier route. And they've been taking it for, I don't know, hundreds of years or whatever, maybe even thousands of years. Who really knows? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know now that there's pyramids in North Africa and there's pyramids in the northern part of South America, right?
There's pyramids in the Americas too, in North America.
In the Americas, yeah. And so, I mean, obviously they were exchanging knowledge somehow. So the easiest way and the most logical way on Earth is to go on a ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it just makes sense, man. And then the whole thing with Pangea and all that. I mean, all right, that's what's up then. All right, so there was definitely black people there then. You know what I mean? If you bring if you bring South America and Africa together, what does that make? The same people, right? I mean, it's just like,
even if you look at the Olmec head statues, if you read any of the writings of Dr. Ivan van Sertima and how they were here before Columbus, it was, you got to look past what they taught us. If you grew up in America, you got to look past what they teach you in school, because it's suggestive. You know what I mean? They feed you information to trick you into thinking a certain way. That's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? Because it's a whole lot of history that goes on in the Americas, North and South, prior to the 1400s. They might talk about the Aztecs and they might talk about the Incas, but what about from year 1000 AD to 1300 AD? It's in a gray area. Nobody talks about that. But you had civilizations of Native Americans that was civilized, man. Had libraries, had pyramids, the North Americans and all
but
that.
in Europe, it was those were the Dark Ages.
Those were the Dark Ages.
The
in
medieval
Europe.
times.
Yeah, that's when the Moors was running that. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say.
Yeah.
And the Moors were running it. And then so what happened when they stepped into the Renaissance? It was after the wars were over with the Moors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they gained all that knowledge, and they got all that knowledge from the Moors, because realistically, man, North Africans. And I'm sorry to say this, but I mean, these are just facts, man. North Africans civilized Europeans, man. Europeans were barbaric. They were at war with each other. They were killing each other for no reason. They had no personal hygiene. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know anything about civilizations, man. They had to come down to Africa and learn diplomacy. They didn't know how to, if they saw somebody else, they'd be like, oh, we got to kill him. It's a wrap for you. And so they came out of the Dark Ages once these wars ended with the Moors, and they ended up taking a lot of the knowledge, the maps, the information of math and what am I trying to say? Geography. These different things that they started to catch on to, and that's what put them into the Renaissance. All of a sudden, you got all these people inventing things and coming up with these new ideas, and poets and philosophers and everything. But it was already there. It was already in Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I'm not even black, yo. I'm not even, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying this to be biased. Like, this is information that other people around the world know. It's just not, it's not taught over here. And I grew up in this system. I was born and raised right here in the States. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a perfect product, man, of this system. I'm not perfect, but I'm just saying, like, I'm a product of this system, man. But I can always look from the outside in. Because, again, my parents are first-generation Afghans. I'm a first-generation Afghan-American. And so I have something to fall back on and see, like, this is how my family is and this is how American families are. You know what I'm saying? It's my choice to be like this or be like that. And I just choose not to be 85 like Better was saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'd rather, try to live my life not above anyone else, but I just what am I trying to say?
Open-minded.
I'm just trying to live outside of the box, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying
the answer
to do.
to a different source.
It's important, definitely, step outside the box and question absolutely everything, especially things that you're taught to be truths that ultimately just seek to separate. And just a side note, it's just came to my mind. Scotland, their flag is an X. I just thought that was interesting, and that's pretty much mostly where I'm from, in Scotland.
William Wallace.
Lovely part.
Yeah,
That's what's up, man. You said Scotland's flag has a big X on it?
yeah. It's a big white X with the blue background.
No, I never knew that, man. That's what's up. I got a question for everybody, man. What does Xmas mean? Xmas. It's usually around the holiday season. Xmas.
Christmas.
Supposed to be the politically correct term for Christmas, for Christ Mass.
Is it though?
I mean,
No, I never
that's
thought
what they
about
told
that.
you.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I never thought about the X.
The X represents nothing in Christianity that I know of. I mean,
What's a
unless
cross? Like,
Well, yeah, it's certain crosses that
no, it's
that is
really-
actually an X. There's
Yeah.
about
Oh,
20
yeah.
different crosses when Christianity was
Oh,
first
really?
being patterned, and like the Ankh is one. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the actual X is one. Like it's like, a lot of the Freemasons, they kind of use an X type cross for Christianity as well.
So is that something that was is that like a commercial thing, or is
Well,
it
nah.
really from the religion? Like, is that something that people really use
I
based
mean,
on religion?
you gotta look at the time when they started using it. I don't think they started using Xmas till like what, the 90s or something like that, or maybe even the 80s or whatever. Just to be
I mean, it
politically
was,
correct, 'cause they didn't want to offend other people who didn't celebrate it. Because you got like Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or whatever, and they go to school with kids who do celebrate Christmas, but then they can't participate in like the school plays. They can't sing none of the
what was that?
the-
South Park did "Lonely Jew on Christmas."
I haven't seen that. man.
Yo, it was a funny song.
So I think just to, make everybody else feel better about it that weren't a part, that didn't celebrate the holiday itself. They let's call it Xmas. I remember American Dad did an episode about that not too long ago, and Stan was
word?
mad. It's Christmas, damn it! Stop calling it Xmas. Cut it out right now. He will let anybody use the term Xmas.
Xmas.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting, man. I mean,
the unknown mass.
when I did
Xmas, because
I just
Jesus
found out-
Christ was hanging on a cross, right?
yeah.
So X equals cross.
Yeah, and
The
even
cross.
Yeah, yeah.
even some of the crucifixion crosses or whatever were actual X.
Yeah.
It wasn't a T.
Right.
It was an actual S. No.
So probably.
Go ahead,
The
man.
X-
Go ahead, E.
A couple things. The X kind of
You
reminds
got
me
30
of.
seconds, man.
Okay, the original symbol before the Nazis completely butchered it was originally something that signified something peaceful, if I'm not mistaken. And what they translated into their swastika. Sorry.
It was from India.
Yeah, isn't it Buddhist?
Yeah, right.
That's what's up. Like, I got to take a
Exactly.
quick break. I'm going to take a quick break for PSAs, and we'll be right back. This is On Beat with Olo, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. We'll be right back. Peace.
Time to wake up. For what is reality? Obviously, no one can say. Reality isn't material, that's just an idea. Reality isn't spiritual, that's just an idea. Reality is...
Peace. This is DJ Olo. You're tuning into On Beat with Olo, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. Today is a little different, man. This show is... I don't think we're going to be playing any music today, man, to tell you the truth. We're just talking about the letter X, or X in general, X, and what it means to you. It's more than just a letter. It represents a lot of things. In studio, we have Radio Raheem,
Peace.
oppression.org. Let us know, man. What is oppression.org?
Oppression.org is it's a website that is an alternate source of media on world news domestically.
And it's your website?
It's a website started by my good friend Ali Nakvi. He's based in Long Island, New York. He started it back in 1998 time frame.
That's what's up.
Early time of the internet. And at their peak, they were pumping out maybe like between 10 to 15 articles a week that were getting noted from all major news outlets. Things kind of quieted down just over the past few years, but I've been helping him for the past 5 years. We did a documentary about Haiti. We've been just recently doing a series of events. I've just been trying to push a lot of energy behind it to bring the website back up to what it was meant to do, which again was to build awareness on issues that are ignored by mainstream media everywhere, whether it's domestically or abroad. And
that's what's up, man.
With Malcolm's birthday coming up, we wanted to.
I was gonna say you helped inspire this show today, man, because you got you got a whole weekend of events.
That's right. Yeah.
Coming up.
That's
right. Let people know, man, if people wanted to check it out.
So we have a series of events coming up to commemorate the life and legacy that Brother Malcolm El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz has left us. Starting next Thursday, May 16th, that's going to go down at Busboys and Poets in Chinatown at 5th and K. It's going to feature musical guest YU and Uptown XO from Diamond District. My friend Bomani Armal. Oh, they are natives, yeah, definitely. And then on the 19th, which is actually Malcolm's birthday, he was born on May 19th. We are going to be having a whole day of events starting at the Drum Circle at Malcolm X Park in Washington, D.C. Moving on then to Sankofa, we have day events going on outside. It's really almost like a birthday event. I mean, we're going to have cake. We're going to have a lot of family events. We're going to have teachers out there. We're going to have breakers out there showing children how to break. And just different kind of activities for children, and then around
keeping it true to the culture.
Absolutely, educating people.
Up,
that's what we're gonna do. And then around 8 o'clock, we're gonna transfer indoors, and that's when we're gonna have a concert. And on the concert list is Head Rock, Mayor of DC, and Mrs. Lovely Ayanna Gregory, the daughter of Dick Gregory. And my homie Bomani Armal, they're all going to perform with live bands behind them. So it's going to be a really fresh evening. If you'd like more information, just go to notarapper.com. That's Bomani Armal's website, but he has all the details listed there. You can also go to oppression.org, and we have all the details for these events. Again, May 16th is the Malcolm Expression event, and that's going down at Busboys and Poets. And then on May 19th, Sunday, May 19th, we're going to be at the Drum Circle at Malcolm X Park, and then at Sankofa Cafe right on Georgia Avenue there in Washington, D.C.
That's what's up, man. That was a lot of information, man. Mr. Forge.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. B-Fam, GRDC, man. Let them know, man.
Yeah, peace, y'all. You know, we've been working on this compilation. I don't know if... well, we really didn't get a chance to talk about it, but we've been dropping. We dropped our third single this week. You know, I guess
3 singles. Yeah. So the first joint was America, produced by your son.
By First Spawn.
First Spawn. How you feel about that track, man?
The Tired of America joint.
The Tired of America joint. Yeah.
Oh, that was dope.
Yeah, you liked it, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I wish we had a little bit more time to. I wanted, like, after I heard it, after it dropped and everything, I wish it could have been mixed down a little bit better. It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell everybody recorded it at different studios, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you know, overall, like, it came out dope, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because Crayola hit me up, too, and he was like, yo, what happened to my verse?
He hit me up, too, and asked me the same question. I said,
He never submitted it, though, right?
I asked him the same question. He said, no, I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I felt like, oh, maybe I left it off or something.
Right.
But, nah, I mean, I don't remember ever
I mean, there was a whole bunch of others that were supposed to contribute.
Yeah.
And they, you know, I'm not going to name any names, but, you know, it is what it is. The track came out, you know, certified, and, you know, Is the Truth, man. He was really feeling it. I mean, he posted every other day. You know, he's like, I'm tired of the lies. Yeah. You know, so yeah, shout out to GuerrillaRepublic.org. You know, so we dropped the second one. Good man, yo. I'm telling you, man. I was telling Better, you know, for that cover, man, you should definitely make a T-shirt on that, man.
Yeah, you did post that.
Yo, a lot of he's getting a lot of love on that
for the
on
Good
that
Man
cover.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
And the track.
Yeah, but you guys, I mean, trust me, man. You guys haven't seen E's joint yet, man. Just wait for the Warzone joint.
Man. Oh yeah, I saw the Warzone one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, man. E's steady drawing, man.
He's always drawing, man. That's why I gave him that little book today, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I know he's got to make my new CD cover that we're not gonna talk about, but yeah. That's what's up, man. But all right, so America, and then the Good Man joint, which was El Better, Sinister, or Usen. Yeah, I wish they were here too, man. I would like to talk to him. And then
feeling that track.
That track came out pretty hard too. So.
Rap Love was feeling that one too, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's what's up. And then it's funny because I look at, you know, who shares what, you know, what I post, if they shared it, even if it's a picture of a funny chubby bunny rabbit or some shit. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry. But what's it called? I lost my train of thought.
All right, we got to move on, man. Let's keep it moving,
he shared
man.
that track or something? Rap shared the track? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he shared it, and he said that and everyone else was saying, yo, am I a good man? You know, so you guys presented that question, you know, and they're saying, am I a good man? You know, the way Senna, you know, ended it as well.
Yeah. And then the most recent joint is the Understand Me Now, produced by Crayola.
By Crayola.
Yeah, and it's you, Big Halo.
Big Halo at a G-Rep LA.
And Crayola. Yeah. And
myself,
Vice C, right? No, Vice C's not even on that.
No, Vice C is with another
yeah.
track with Crayola.
Yeah, no, it's just you three. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That was just released recently too, man.
So yeah, that was I definitely feeling that one, man. We was talking from within, you know, out, you know, like quiet times you have, you know, with Supreme, you know, so just talking. So it came across good. But yeah, we got many more dropping. May 18th, you know, we'll be up in Philly. I know we haven't had a chance to talk about that. But we definitely
for the Style Zone.
For the Style Zone, pay homage to the DJ. Shout out to Dynamic MC. You know, so yeah, we really ramping up for that, man. First Spawn and I, you know, will be performing. Lord Better. You know, Natural E.
Precise Science was here a couple weeks ago too, and they said they're gonna be there too.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's what they were saying. Yeah,
I didn't know they was gonna be there, but yeah,
I didn't know that either. So that's what's up, man.
Now that was a good show when y'all had them in with
Precise Science
with radio feedback.
Radio feedback. Yeah, that was.
And I was like, I was like, I know that little dude, man. He was at our clothing drive.
Oh yeah,
you remember that? Angel
came
through the clothing drive, man, that we had, and I was like, yo, I know that dude.
Yeah, his band is good, man. Yeah, they're nasty.
I was really impressed. I was highly impressed. That was a great show. I watched it from front to end, you know. But yeah, man. So we got that coming up. You know, we got you know, just ramping up. Really, you know, we're like Voltron. You know, we don't see each other for a while, but when we get together, you know,
so it's coming together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like you were saying, man, there's still so many joints that still need to be released off the GRDC compilation.
Right.
Yeah,
I think we got like what 11 more. Is it?
I'm not even sure, man. I think it's even more than that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. And I know Ian and myself been talking about covers.
Yes, we have X amount left to release.
Yeah, exactly. The unknown, man.
The unknown. That's a good one. Yeah, so I know E. Well, I'll let E talk about the covers as well.
I was gonna say, E, you got you just dropped something as well. You just dropped a mixtape.
Word?
Yes.
Right? Let people know about that, man. If people wanted to check you out.
If you'd like to check it out, go to. If you would like to check it out, there's a website you can go to. It's tr.noodles.squarespace.com, and if you go to the terawatts section, you'll find
to the what section?
Terawatts.
What does that mean, E?
Terawatts. Tera is Earth.
All right.
And watts could be
energy.
It could be related to energy. It originally, to me, has to do with Alan Watts.
That's what's up,
the
man.
The great author and philosopher.
And for those who don't know, I don't mean to cut you off, but for those who don't know, when this show comes in, first of all, that intro was produced by E. He put it together for me. But the person who speaks on that intro is Alan Watts. And Alan Watts is a great philosopher that E introduced me to about a year ago. Anyways, go ahead, man. I just wanted to give you your credits on the intro.
Talking about Watts.
Good looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, to me, it kind of chronicles a lot of my growth just as an artist. And my brother Sinistar and Usen are on it as well. And
why didn't you have anyone else on it, man? Why'd you keep it so slim?
I wanted to get it out and start working on new things, because a lot of those tracks were things that I wrote a long time ago.
Word.
And towards the end of it was completely just the 1.2 hours, and it all fit pretty nicely. Eventually, I would love to re-record and do more features.
Well, no, the reason I asked
you, I just had to get out.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It's the reason I asked you, because I've been listening to it since October. You know what I'm saying? Real. So I'm not gonna front. I've been listening to it since October. I've been bumping it. We bumped it in Cali. You know what I'm saying? I bumped it in Chicago, and I listened to it, and I can tell that you were in another place when you wrote a lot of those rhymes. I could tell that it's not the same natural E that I know today. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. That's true.
Yeah, and it's cool that you got it all out. I can tell that you had to go back and you chose rhymes. Like, what I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, again, the rhymes and the beats that you chose, that you selected for this on Facebook.
It's actually based on the faces of the Easter Island statues.
Oh, okay. I
The
see. And
the
see,
original location was a place that had an Easter Island statue that was just at the entrance, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not remembering incorrectly. And that's originally how it became Face Fest, because of that face. And
but what I was getting to is that they use Facebook
as a
to advertise and get a lot of people to come out.
yeah,
Yeah.
they utilize that social network to the fullest to get that word out and to connect with the artists and make sure everyone knows where they're supposed to be. But they also have their own website as well.
They do have their own website.
They
And
invite
I
people
noticed
to.
when they share things from their website onto Facebook.
And they may share on different other multiple things as well, but I'm more familiar with
Yeah,
their
Facebook.
website and
Yeah,
the
that's
Fed
what's up.
book, the book of
Anyways, man, I mean, they're all
faces.
opinions, man. You know what I'm saying? The only person who could really speak on it is the one who's doing the things that we're talking about.
Yeah, we got to
You know
get
what I'm
Dave
saying?
Hamilton on here, man.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd
be
be ill, man. Yeah, this summer if we can get him to come out, man. Anyways, man, we're talking about X, and I guess all this Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, Facebook stuff is X too, because it's all the unknown, man. Because every day it's growing. All that stuff is growing, and they're making things new, and they're all trying to compete with each other and make sure everything works together and links up and all that stuff, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, to me,
Extra.
like if you know, in my opinion, man, you know, if you're gonna keep it underground, if you're gonna keep it gully, if you're gonna keep it real, then keep it real to yourself, man. Like, you know, make sure that your commercial product, whatever it may be, is protected. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I mean, I've done a lot of things wrong too, man. I've put up a lot of music. I put up Better's music, man. You know what I'm saying? I threw him under the bus. I uploaded his music, and who's to say in the future, you know, that his music doesn't start selling, and then Facebook or whatever says, yo, well, you don't have the rights to it because you uploaded it to our website back in '97, and you didn't really get the rights until 2013. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, for all the young artists, man, just protect yourself, man. Do the research. Check it out. It's definitely worth it, man, because you don't want to sell yourself short.
Don't rush your product.
Yeah, you don't have to rush your product, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, listenership is, yeah, definitely. That's key. Everybody needs fans. You know what I'm saying? But there's something that I learned, you know, last year is that the fans will come, man, as long as you, and this goes back to X too, man. As long as your heart is pure, you know what I'm saying, and as long as you're giving your 100% into your product, and you're not trying to jip people, then you're gonna be okay, man. It's all good, you know what I'm saying? But again, that's just my opinion, man. And opinions are like, you know, holes. Everybody got them. So we got a few more minutes, man. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we get out, man? X, and what does it mean to you? I know some of the things that I wrote down, man, I was just going through.
Nibiru.
Yeah, I was going to say Nibiru, you know, the 10th planet. You know, X really has nothing to do with Islam. Everyone was talking about Malcolm X. There's a lot of perceptions out there on the internet that I realized just doing research recently is that a lot of people think that when Malcolm became Muslim, that he took on the name X because of Islam. It has something to do with Islam. It has nothing to do with Islam at all. Again, it's just because he didn't want to use the name that was given to him, and he wanted to use X to represent the unknown. X does come from Greek, but it also comes from Arabic, and nobody really knows which one is first. Obviously, I'm gonna have to be biased and say it comes from Arabic, and then, you know, the Greeks took it. It is the 24th letter. It represents a kiss.
What is it in Arabic though?
In Arabic, it means thing, sight.
In Greek, what it means? Just 10, right?
Well, in Greek, they used it.
Oh, that's Roman.
No, in Roman, yeah, it's the Roman numeral 10. But in Greek, they used it for it like now present day would be SCH, like school. They would say Jule or something like that. You know what I'm saying? School or whatever. However they said it. I don't know how they said it, man. But it was SH or SCH. You know, or like, you know how you say shall, SCHA. You know what I'm saying? It used to be XALL, I guess. Anyways, in the future, you know, they used it. Europeans used it as a symbol. Like when they would write letters, they would put an X as like a kiss, and that's where the X's and O's come from, kisses and hugs. And then even later after that, they started using it for alcohol. And so if it had an X on it, you knew it was like strong. If it had 2 X's, it was double strong. And if it was 3 X's, it was, you know, top shelf. Yeah. Well, see, now the pornographic stuff came later too, man. That was like in the 1950s, I think.
The unknown.
Yeah. Anyways, man, you know, it's the male chromosome. It means multiply. And like you said, with the triple X, adult films in the 1950s in Great Britain, in the UK, that's who started it, the triple X movies. And then the U.S. took it on in 1968.